Namaste, Shilpa.
Sorry.
In a mysterious dispensations law.
Right.
Okay, so we are still in book 2, of course, and this is the book of the Traveler of the Worlds. We're in Canto 4, continuing the kingdoms of the little life. So Shilpa, please begin to read.
Sure. In a mysterious dispensations law, a wisdom that prepares its far off ends, planned so to start her slow aeonic game.
Very good. Now that is good reading, actually. So we're seeing now that this is a divine ordering of worldly affairs, this dispensation.
Mhm,
It's how God orders worldly affairs.
mhm.
And he does it through a mysterious excuse me,
Bless you.
dispensations law. And it is a wisdom that prepares its far off ends, not immediately, far off ends. And therefore it plans so to start her slow aeonic game. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Please continue.
A blindfold search and wrestle and fumbling clasp of a half-seen nature and a hidden soul, a game of hide and seek in, in twilight rooms, a play of love and hate and fear and hope continues in the nursery of mind, its hard and heavy rom of self-born twins.
So I have two mistakes here.
Okay.
First is twilit, not
I
twilight.
lit. Okay.
So it's half lit, huh? And where was the other one I saw?
Twilight.
So we have a blindfold search and wrestle and fumbling class.
Mhm.
Why? Because it's a half-seen nature and it's a hidden soul. So it's between the two of them that this search is going on, this kind of wrestle and fumbling clasp is going on to see what, to find out what. And so now we have to go and see. Well, it's a game of hide and seek. The Sri Aurobindo uses that word twice in
Mm.
Savitri. And
Oh, okay.
here he hyphenates it. In
Mm.
another place he doesn't. He doesn't hyphenate it.
Okay.
And we know it's a children's game
Mhm.
where one tries to find and catch others who are hiding. Interesting,
Mhm.
isn't it? Sri Aurobindo
Yeah.
would use that so beautifully.
Yeah.
But the rooms are not fully lit, they're only twilit. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's a play of love and hate and fear and hope. And it continues in the nursery of mind. So we see a nursery here, we see a game of hide and seek, and we see this hard and heavy rum of self-born twins. Self-born is originating from or by oneself.
Mhm.
So now we have to continue and find out what's going on.
So now, sir, I have a little bit of a struggle understanding this, connecting this analogy of self-born twins. Is that supposed to be connected with the half-seen nature and hidden soul, which are self-born twins, or is that going to come forward?
Yeah, we have to go back, you see, and we have to see what is happening here. First of all, it's a law, and it's a mysterious dispensations law. And it's a wisdom that's preparing its far off ends. And it's an aeonic game. And it's a blindfold search and wrestle and fumbling class of what? Two things. Answer to your question: nature and a hidden soul.
Okay.
When we go back, we are enlightened always more. Mother says, the more you read the same passage again and again, the more it will reveal new things to you.
Right.
So it's a game of hide and seek in these twilight rooms. But it's a play of love and hate, the dualities, fear and hope. And it's continuing because it's only in the nursery of mind. It's not above the mind yet. And it's a hard and heavy romp of self-born twins. Well, they're self-born because they're the divine. Okay, so you got it now, huh?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
At last?
Yeah. At last, the struggling energy can emerge and meet the voiceless being in wider fields. Then can they see and speak, and breast to breast, in a larger consciousness, a clearer light, the two embrace and strive, and each know each, regarding closer now the playmate's face.
See how Sri Aurobindo brings it all to our understanding. It's a marvelous. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So we don't have to explain that. That's very clear.
Yes.
It's the two embracing.
Yes. Even in these formless coilings, he could feel matter's response to an infant stir of soul.
Okay, so now this is Ashwapati, and he's looking at this plane of existence, and he's seeing that there is a response of matter to this infant, we can say, very young stir of soul. He's seeing that.
Okay.
And now, big line, this very important line.
In nature, he saw the mighty spirit concealed, watched the weak birth of a tremendous force, pursued the riddle of Godhead's tentative pace, heard the faint rhythms of a great unborn muse.
Yes.
So that's a full stop there, Nancy.
I would say it's unborn, not unborn, but unborn.
Unborn, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a better pronunciation. Okay. So we look at these lines now. He sees in nature, Ashwapati sees in nature, the mighty spirit concealed, because we're still in the ignorance, and nature is ignorant. We know that when the Divine Mother descended and reduced her powers to come on earth, nature's creations were experimental. But he sees the mighty spirit concealed there in nature. Very important, huh? And he's watching this weak birth of a tremendous force, consciousness. And he's pursuing the riddle of Godhead's tentative pace. He doesn't really understand yet why God is making things go so slow. Pursued the riddle of Godhead's tentative pace. But he hears now the faint rhythms of a great unborn muse. Something's going to happen.
Okay. So to muse is when we say muse over means we want to think over or ponder over.
The
Is
muse,
that?
the
Mhm.
inspirer of everything.
Okay.
The muse speaks to us in poetry, in music, in architecture, in literature.
Mhm.
The muse is, well, in mythology, there were 9 daughters of Mnemosyne and Zeus, each of whom presided over a different art or science. So here we
Mhm.
get a little more about the muse. Now,
Okay.
Sri Aurobindo says in a letter on Savitri, the mystic muse, and he capitalizes the word muse, is
Mhm.
more of an inspired bacchant of the Dionysian wine than an orderly housewife.
Okay.
So you see, the muse is never an orderly housewife. She's an
Mhm.
inspired bacchant,
Mhm.
one who enjoys and revels in Dionysian wine.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, all right. So now we'll carry on.
Sure. Then came a fairer breath of
Okay.
waking life,
This you've made this mistake before, so we have to look at the word carefully. Fireier.
fireier. Okay. Okay. Fireier. Okay.
So
I read it yesterday and again forgot. Okay. Fireier.
it's a fiery breath of waking life.
Yeah. Fireier. Then came a fierier breath of waking life, and there arose from the dim gulf of things the strange creations of a thinking sense, existences half real and half dream.
Yeah. So this is interesting what's going on here because um, there these this strange creation that finally is coming, which is a thinking sense,
Mhm.
and but still existences are still half real and half dream
Mhm.
in this
Mhm.
plane of existence.
Right.
So we
Okay.
have to continue on and see what else is happening.
Okay. A life was there that hoped not to survive. Beings were born who perished without trace. Events that were a formless drama's lens, and actions driven by a blind creature will.
Creature,
Blind creature will. Sorry.
creature will, yes. So we see now that this life on this plane of existence, and it's a little life. It's a kingdom of a little life. We have to
Mhm.
remember that as we go along, because
Right.
because this life doesn't even hope to survive. And these beings that are born in this life perish without any trace at all.
Yeah.
And events that were a formless drama's limbs and actions driven by what? By a blind creature will.
Mhm.
See, these are all driven by a blind creature will.
Yeah. A seeking power found out its road to form. Patterns were built of love and joy and pain, and symbol figures for the moods of life.
Yes, so this seeking power is finding out what? Its road to form. Things are still very formless, not
Mhm.
clearly defined yet. So we
Right.
see that patterns are being built of love and joy and pain, and even symbol figures. for the moods of life are happening.
Okay. An insect, hedonism, flutter,
Hedonism.
hedonism. Okay.
Hedonism. Hedonism means devotion to pleasure as a way of life.
Okay.
My father was somewhat hedonistic. He loved all life.
Mm-hmm.
He loved nature. He loved the rain, the sun. He was hedonistic in that way. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess I have been also.
Mm-hmm.
And so but now it's just an insect hedonism because it's very, very small. There's just a little beginning in this world. And so this insect, in a joy of life, flutters and crawls and basks in nature's surface thrills because there's no mind here, there's no consciousness here.
Mm-hmm.
And dragon raptures, python agonies, crawled in the marsh and mire and licked the sun. You can just see these iguanas and these other animals that seemingly lick the sun.
Right, right, right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now then I'll continue from huge. Okay. Huge armored strengths shook a frail, quaking ground. Great puissant creatures with a dwarfish brain and pygmy tribes imposed their small life drift.
Well, yes, this is interesting because we're seeing that these huge armored strengths, the dinosaurs,
Mhm.
great animal creations, we could say.
Mhm.
And they're, as they walk, they're shaking this frail,
Ground, yeah.
trembling ground.
Mhm.
And they are great, powerful, puissant figures, but they have a dwarfish brain.
Mhm.
And then there are also pygmy tribes that are imposing their small life drift. He's giving us such a picture of this plane of existence.
So now it's a pygmy tribes. Do that mean
Very,
very small men?
very
You
small
humans?
tribe. Well, it could be, well, what should I say? Dwarf men, dwarf beings.
Mhm.
And then
Okay.
we see in the next line, he tells us in a dwarf model of
Mhm.
humanity.
Humanity,
So
yes.
again, he explains it.
Yes.
We always have to go back and forth in Savitri.
Yes. 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 In a dwarf model of humanity, nature now launched the extreme experience and master point of her design's caprice, luminous result of her half-conscious climb on rungs twixt her sublimites and
Sublimities,
sublimities. Sorry, I'll read.
sublimities, and
I'll
grotesque.
read that one. Okay. Okay. Luminous results of her half-conscious climb on rungs twixt her sublimities and grotesques.
Grotesques, yes.
Yeah, and grotesques to massive from infinitesimal shapes to a
No,
subtle
infinitesimal.
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 Okay, okay.
So
To
they're very
massive.
tiny to huge to massive from infinitesimal shapes.
Okay, okay. To massive from infinitesimal shapes to a subtle balancing of body and soul to an order of intelligent littleness.
And I think we'll stop there because you have a lot to read
Yeah. Okay.
and some interesting words too.
Yes. So, Narad, these last few lines, this is again describing the limitations of that dwarf model, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
This experiment is going on, this subtle balancing of body and soul to this intelligent littleness, uh, from these massive shapes to infinitesimal shapes. So she's making a climb, this a climb towards a life of things, a luminous result of her, but it's only a half conscious climb. And on rungs between her sublimities, her highest points, and her grotesques, her ugliest points,
Mm, okay.
distorted points. Okay?
Okay. Got it. I'll
Good.
go back to page 141.
Yes.
In a mysterious dispensation's law, a wisdom that prepares its far off ends, planned so to start her slow, aeonic game. A blindfold search and wrestle, and fumbling clasp of a half seen nature and a hidden soul, a game of hide and seek in twilit rooms, a play of love and hate and fear and hope continues in the nursery of mind, its hard and heavy rom of self-born twins.
Can you say hide and seek?
Okay. Hide and seek.
Yeah, that's the way you pronounce seek.
Okay.
Okay, carry on.
Um,
At last,
at last, okay. At last, the struggling energy can emerge and meet the voiceless being in wider fields. Then can they see and speak and breast to breast in a larger consciousness, a clearer light, the two embrace and strive and each know each, regarding closer now the playmate's face.
playmates,
The
playmates,
playmate,
playmates.
regarding closer now the playmate's face. Even in these formless coilings, he could feel matter's response to an infant stir of soul. In nature, he saw the mighty spirit concealed, watched the weak birth of a tremendous force, pursued the riddle of Godhead's tentative pace, heard the faint rhythms of a great unborn muse. Then came a firer breath of waking life, and there arose from the dim gulf of things the strange creations of a thinking sense, existences half real and half dream. A life was there that hoped not to survive. Beings were born who perished without trace. Events that were a formless drama's limbs and actions driven by a blind creature will. A seeking power found out its road to form. Patterns were built of love and joy and pain, and symbol figures for the moods of life. An insect, hedonism, flutter,
Hedonism. Okay,
yeah,
hedonism.
hedonism. An insect, hedonism, fluttered and crawled and basked in a sunlit nature's surface thrills. And dragon raptures, python agonies, crawled in the marsh and mire and licked the sun. Huge armored strengths shook a frail, quaking ground. Great puissant creatures with a dwarfish brain and pygmy tribes imposed their small life drift. In a dwarf model of humanity, nature now launched the extreme experience and master point of her design's caprice. Luminous results of her half-conscious climb on rungs twixt her
Sublimity,
sublimities and growths twixt
grotesques.
grotesque, on rung twixt her sublimities and grotesques to massive from infinitesimal shapes to a subtle balancing of body and soul to an order of intelligent littleness. Okay, thank you so much, Narad sir.
Work
Thanks a lot.
on the words sublimities and grotesques and infinitesimal.
Infinitesimal. Okay, I will work. Thank you so much. You have a great week ahead.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.